Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I am going to discuss how to create your own function and how to use that function in Power Query. Okay, so in Power BI, there is one tool to connect with multiple sources and to add the column. So here you have an option to invoke custom function. But before invoking, obviously you need to create a function, your own function. So let's understand what is mean by function. Okay, function is a block of code that uses multiple values, okay, multiple columns values, and it can returns a single value. Okay, so function always return one scalar value. Okay, that is not normal value. Okay, so basically I can say function is a block of code that we will write. Okay, I will show you how to write the code. We will use M query language syntax to create the function. So block of code that can be uh, written once written once and used many times as required. Okay, so you can create function only once and you can use that function any number of times in your query. So suppose you need to do some calculation, okay, for the various columns, so you can create your customs and you can use that function. You can custom function you can create and you can use that function on multiple queries, okay, to perform the calculation. Let's see how we can create a function. So before creating a function, obviously you need a data. So let's load the data. I will remove this error this first. So how to connect with the data? So you can simply go to the new source. So Power Query has an option to connect with sources also. So if you go to the new source tab here, you will get an option to connect with various sources. So I don't want to connect with Excel. Okay, I'm supposed to connect with text or CSV file. So I will select text and CSV file. So here I have a data. So I will pick these data sets. Okay. I don't want this data set. Okay, I want something else. So I will go. That is again my bad in Excel. If I so type of file is matters. Okay, whenever you are trying to load the data, if you select Excel and if you try to load the CSV file, that is not possible. Okay, so you are supposed to select appropriate file. Okay, otherwise you will get confused. So I have loaded this query, this data set. Okay, and here in my file I have something called product cost, then sales amount, then tax amount, and then freight is a percentage. Okay, like in India we have VAT or GST. So this kind of tax is there whenever import and export works. Any if you are trying to, okay, import or export your products into specific countries. Okay, so that company may apply some charges. Okay, so like excise. Okay, so fine. So that is not our interest. What is this and all? So it is a percentage that is applicable, that in the form of tax on your product or sales amount or whatever will be the amount. Okay. And I would like to find out something called profit. So how I can call or how I can find the profit. So first what I will do, I will pick this sales amount column. From this sales amount, obviously I should subtract the production cost, then tax, and then uh, freights also, right? So this is what my tax, that the kind of tax. Okay, so I will create a function for this, but before going to that function, okay, I will show you how to create a function. So whenever you wanted to create a function, what you can do, you can go to the query pane, okay, where you have a list of queries. So in this pane, just right click, just click on blank area and then right click here. You will get an option to create a new query. Select blank query. Okay, do not select any other type of. So I will select blank query only, and here you can type actually a function. So function syntax is a little bit while creating is your custom function, you are supposed to write is equal to, then you can use this parenthesis, okay, and this is what the symbol, okay, arrow symbol is equal to followed by greater than. That symbol represent the return, okay, what it is return going to, it going to return. So it is going to return something like any number, right? But what number? The number you have to pass, you have to give the value while doing the calculations, okay, but how you can rectify that, okay, how you can store the value inside of functions, how function will use that value. So obviously you need to pass a variables inside of this function, inside of this function, and that variables will receive the your column values, data values, okay, whatever. If you try to enter the values, you can enter, okay. So what I will do, and these type of variables are often referred as a parameter in functions, okay. If you are familiar with Python and any other programming language, so you can easily understand what does mean by parameter. Parameters are nothing but variables, local variables in functions. So these variables are available only inside these functions, okay, whenever you are trying to call. I will show you, okay, how this works, or how this works. And now this function is going to return a plus b. So this is what simple function. I will call this as a sum function, okay, and I will change the name as a summation, okay. Yeah, I will keep only sum name, okay. And this is my sum function, this is my sum function. And what I will do, I will enter the value here, okay, and I will enter another value. So what it is doing, okay, what it asking the values, okay, you can easily understand. First of all, it is asking a value for a, right, and secondly it is asking for value for b. So these two are the variable that is, or these variables are going to hold the value, hold the value. A will store 10, B will store 20. And whenever you will come to the next point or next to the arrow, here what will happen? It will return the values to this calculation. So instead of A, what it will do, it will put 10, it will use 20 instead of B, and it will perform the addition. The moment I say invoke, it is giving me the additions, right? And here you can see that the function what I have created with the name sum is called like this. Same thing you have to do in actual query, in actual query. So as I said, what we wanted to do, we wanted to find out the profit. Profit is nothing but sales amount minus total production cost minus tax minus freight, okay, freight percentage. So freight amount, how to calculate? So you are supposed to calculate the product of freight percentage into sales amount. So this will give you the freight tax amount, freight tax amount. So I will create one function. I will name that function as a profit here, okay. If I go here, I will say profit. Now the syntax is remains same. You are supposed to write like this, okay. First, what will comes in a picture, okay, don't use abcd, okay, that is not required, okay, that is not mandatory to use abcd, anything you can use. So I will say sales. Sales is my final amount for which a product is sold. Then cost, production cost minus tax minus, I will write freight. Okay. So this is how I have created 4 variables. Okay. So that was my formula. Okay. My bad. I put it up formula. Right. So what I will do, I will write the formula here. Okay. So this is how we can create a formula. So this is my formula. This is going to execute when I call this function, but you need a parameters, right? So you need a parameter. So what I will do, I will remove this and I will put the comma between all these variables. So variables is like in programming, okay, variables are used to store the values inside it. And here, sales cost, tax, freight, so these are going to store the values. But here, if you look, okay, what is the freight? So freight is in percentage. So what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to pass the sales here, right? So sales into percentage, so it will give you the tax amount. This is how I have created a function. Definitely it will ask you to enter the values, but I don't need to do here. I wanted to call this function, profit function, inside my query to add new column. Okay, so I'm going to add one more column. How to call, how to invoke the function. So you are supposed to go to the add column tab here, and inside add a column, you have an option. Okay, that is what something like invoke custom function. So you can use this option to call the your custom function. So I will click on this. The moment I click, okay, this window will come in front of you, and it is asking you for the, since it is going to create a new column, it will ask the column name. So I will say profit is my column name. Okay, fine. And then function query, it says function query. So whatever the number of functions you have created, it will get listed automatically. It will come directly here, right? So this function will reflect here, as an profit with the same name, right? Now, once you select the function name, definitely it is going to ask you select the columns. Okay, because we are going to perform the addition, subtraction, whatever will be there, calculation based on the column values. So I supposed to select the columns. Okay, so here in the sales field, I will select sales amount. In place of cost, it is asking you to enter, but you have two options, either enter any value or select the column name. So I will pick the column and I will say what is my next is cost. So I will select the product, total product cost. Okay, this is my, again in place of tax, I will select column and I will select tax amount. In place of freight, I will select column and I will select freight percentage. Since freight is in percentage, it is going to calculate accordingly. And I will say yes. So here you can see that 2.10 is my profit. Okay, after doing this calculation, how this works, right? This is very easy to create a function and use the function in Power Query to create a new column. Right? Your calculation will be very easy. You do not need to worry about all the rows. It will get automatically looped for all the rows. So this is how functions works. You can create any type of functions, okay, in Power Query, and you can invoke that function to do the calculation inside Power Query. So this is all about creating a function and invoking function in Power Query. I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Please do not forget to subscribe the channel.